says Millennials live on one. Megan at 970 says I'm playing the long game, saving my points for when my submission tool runs dry and I am particularly down bad. Millennials says damn bro is dedicated. Black 09 Ivo says I am already in that position on Steam. Millennials says architecture in a swampy place. MR Black 09 Ivo says welcome to the right field motherfucker. Millennials says an architecture in a swampy place during the Age of Life. says best I could think of are my frog folk and their architecture before their mega island was flooded. Baramin says oh. Shiwerkinto says and out of most people I know, I am the furthest ahead. MR Black 0950 said so no filter said in the right field parody. Shame disappointed. Baramin says bro loudly crying. MR Black 0950 says the king does not Kong on this day. Stream Elements says Barumli is now live. Streaming art. Drawing art on an art stream. Hell, yes sir. Barumli says our minds are now diverging. MR Black 0950 says we spent too long out of sync. Barumli says you know what fuck is wrong. Barumli says Mondays go later night long. Barumli says we gained today LMAO. MR Black 0950 says OWO. Megamat 970 says I like games. Baramin says hee hard on. Baramin says oh yay we can go back to previous areas by the way. Baramin says we playing peak OWO. Baramin says sucks at Megamat 970 kinda missed the first missions ooh. Megamat 970 says lol I've been terrible with my sleep this weekend lol.
Hostiles in sight.
MR Black 0950 says is it. Going to sleep at 5 p.m. and waking up at midnight fully rested. Levels of terrible. MR Black 0950 says cause that's what I did on accident to fuck up my sleep. MR Black 0950 says I barely comprehend what day it is now. Baramin says Baramin did lol. MR Black 0950 says is it truly the 8th, or is the universe gaslighting me and it's actually the 5th? Baramin says you can tell you how much fun I'm having despite the ass controls lol. Megamat 970 says Thursday. 1. Get home 2. Nap till 10 p.m. 3. Sleep at
Good
5
to see you,
a.m.
kid.
4.
Got a job
Wake up
for
at
you.
5 p.m. Friday
That convoy is heading
Baramin
for the
lol.
base where they're holding Megatron. I need you to follow him, but you'll need a better mode of transportation. That flying vehicle over there is called a helicopter. Doesn't look like much, but it'll give you an aerial advantage.
MR Black 0950 says so we are in similar realms of fucked sleep.
The convoy is heading out. Transform and fly after it.
I'll do my best, but this flying thing is gonna take some getting used to.
Megamat 970 says thankfully I forced myself to wake up this morning to give my friends a ride.
Something's blocking the road.
Ironhide, Decepticons are attacking!
Protect the convoy, kid, but maintain your cover.
Megamat 970 says tomorrow starts my last week of classes OWO Barumming hype.
Good work, kid. Megatron has gotta be in there for the Decepticons to go to all this trouble.
Ironhide, how did Megatron go bad? He and Optimus Prime were brothers. How did they turn out so different?
The Allspark gave us free will. That means some of us are gonna make bad choices. Now, let's find a way in.
Megamat 970 says what's the name of our bot UWU? Barumming says. Barumming says his name is hard on. Barumming says Barumming hype 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 Barumming hype. Megamat 970 says I thought that was just the name of the profile, Barumming did lol. Baramin says also funny how all the media relating to the live-action films support the idea that Optimus and Megatron are biological brothers rather than brothers in arms lol. Megamat 970 says I was just gonna say something about that.
Take him out!
Megamat 970 says are they bio bros in the Bavers? MR Black 0950 says that sure does make the toxic old yaoi shipping weirder. Baramin says that is unclear. Baramin says the second movie kinda hinted it. Baramin says but then the last movie kinda made it official. MR Black 0950 says we should do Discord calls and watch the Bavers movies sometime. Baramin says oh yay lol. Megamat 970 says I think I would be too annoying lol. MR Black 0950 says we can suffer sparkles together sparkles. Baramin says not as annoying as the movies.
The Decepticons are already infiltrating the base!
Well then quit your yapping and start shooting.
MR Black 0950 says I'd have myself muted just cause that's what I always do when I join movie calls.
These two seem to be helping us. Focus your fire on the others.
Kofi Streambot says visit Baramin's Ko-Fi page https://ko-fi.com/Baramin. Rep equals Twitch. Baramin says Baramin did lol.
The Decepticon...
Well then quit your yapping and start shooting.
Switch to armor-piercing rounds and attack!
Autobot! Oh! Autobot! Oh! Oh!
These two seem to be helping us. Focus your fire on the others.
Oh! 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 Destroy all Autobots! Oh! 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 Okay, now to stop those Decepticreeps from freeing Megatron. Autobots are attacking! Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh! Oh! Ah!
Megamat 970 says yeah, there's too many people in my house to make a peaceful watching environment.
Autobots! Ah! 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 Oh! 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 Ah! Ah! The humans must have moved him somewhere. Let's search the base for clues, but keep your optics open for Decepticons.
MR Black 0950 says I just try to be respectful.
Destroy all Autobots!
Megamat 970 says for y'all anyway. I'm used to it lol.
Oh! Oh! Ah! 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 An Autobot, after it!
MR Black 0950 says also why does Hardline look like Ratchet?
Destroy all Autobots! Oh! 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 Destroy all Autobots! Ah! 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 Ah!
MR Black 0950 says he's got the same body shape.
Ironhide, that Decepticon is trying to scan that computer terminal.
Not for long.
Oh! 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 Take him down!
Death to all Autobots!
Ah! Oh! Death to all Autobots!
Oh! Autobots are attacking!
MR Black 0950 says bro's bigger than the Decepticons XD. Megamat 970 says oh you're a Ratchet right now.
Interesting.
What is it, Ironhide?
The humans have a secret military agency called Sector 7. They've got Megatron at some other location, but I can't find out where.
Ah, they must have been the ones jamming my net access back at Tranquility.
Looks that way, kid. There's a file on here titled Project Iceman, but I can't seem to crack it. Maybe the boss will have better
Brian
luck.
says I'm Ironhide dog loudly crying. Megamat 970 says Ironhide barum did lol.
Brian, this is Ironhide. We need to upload some data to you. Brian, are you receiving?
Ironhide. There is two interference. See if you can boot
Megamat 970 says I realized too late.
Can't get a signal through.
You gotta be kidding me.
MR Black
This
0950 says oh you weren't playing
Are
as
there
hard on
Shopticons in
XD.
here?
Relax there, tough guy.
MR
It's just a
Black
human
0950
expression I
says
picked
I
up while
missed that
scanning
part.
the, internet.
You've been hanging around with Bumblebee too much.
So what do we do now?
Adapt and overcome, kid. Let's find a way to boost the signal. That transmission tower should do just fine.
Got it. I'll cover you.
Megamat 970 says, so how far are we in this game? MR Black 0950 says, I just assumed you bulked up randomly.
Get that Autobomb! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Baramin says, Baramin did lol. Baramin says at Megamat 970 TBH not that far. MR Black 0950 says don't abandon Ironhide dude. MR Black 0950 says that's a dick move. Baramin says he abandoned me. MR Black 0950 says nah, you abandoned him. MR Black 0950 says the game said so. MR Black 0950 says clearly the game wouldn't lie. Baramin says damn got a dink dat oiter then lol. Baramin says this mission sucks ass LMAO. MR Black 0950 says skill issue. Baramin says Baramin did lol. Megamat 970 says that's mean.
Right, this is...
You gotta
bites.
relax there. So what do we...
Adapt and overcome that transmission.
Got it. Death to all Autobots! Oh.
MR Black 0950 says what's mean is Ironhide just driving away mid-combat.
Take him down! Oh! No!
Megamat 970 says Ironhide was a secret coward.
We should be able to get the signal through now.
Ironhide, looks like we got company. Decepticons.
Great. I'm getting too old for this.
Destroy all Autobots.
Take him down! Oh!
You are nuts.
Autobot forces are attacking.
Megamat 970 says he says the other Autobots are underdeveloped in the Beavers.
Autobot!
I still have it.
No! Autobot forces are attacking!
Kevin at 970 says Ironhide was a coward and Ratchet has a human kink.
No! No!
MR Black 0950 says the only Autobots worth watching in the Bavers are Bumblebee and Grimlock. Baramin says Baramin did lol. Baramin says Grimlock. MR Black 0950 says XD I need proof on this human kink. MR Black 0950 says Grimlock, he's a cool Trex. Baramin says ah real.
Brian, this is Ironhide. We need to upload some data to you. Brian, are you receiving?
Ironhide. There is two interference. See if you can boot your
MR Black 0950 says sure.
Can't
The
get a
full
signal
Bavers
through.
treatment both
You
good
gotta
and
be
bad,
kidding
but
me.
he breathes fucking
This
fire.
bites.
Bites?
Baramin says I
Are there
love that
shock
this
guns
game
in
has no
here?
checkpoint lol.
Relax there, tough guy. It's just a human expression I picked up while scanning the, internet.
You've been hanging around with Bumblebee too much.
So what do we do now?
Adapt and overcome, kid. Let's find a way to boost the signal. That transmission tower should do just fine.
Got it. I'll cover you. Get that Autobomb! Oh! Oh!
I'm sending you to the scrap heap.
Death to all Autobots!
I'm sending you to the scrap heap.
Oh! 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 No! Oh!
All right. We should be able to get the signal.
Ironhide, looks like...
Great. I'm getting too old.
Autobot! Oh!
I still got it.
No! Oh! Oh! Death to all Autobots! Autobot forces are attacking! No! Oh! 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 No! Oh! 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 No! Oh!
I'll call you a toad.
Oh! Autobots! Oh! Get that Autobomb! Autobots are attacking! Oh! Oh! Autobots are attacking! Oh! Autobot forces are attacking! An Autobot, after it!
I still got it.
Oh! Oh! Autobot forces are attacking! No!
Baramin says fuck. MR Black 0950 says water to cool down with.
This is Ironhide. We need to upload some data to you.
MR
Alright, are you receiving?
Black0950 says, did you drink up?
There is 2 interference. See if you can boot your sick.
Can't get a
Baramin
signal
says
through.
I did lol.
You gotta be kidding me. This bites.
MR
Bites?
Black0950
Are there
says good.
shocktagons in here?
Relax there, tough guy. It's just a human expression I picked up while scanning the, internet.
You've been hanging around with Bumblebee too much.
So what do we do now?
Adapt and
MR
overcome, kid.
Black0950
Let's find a
says
way
pro
to
gamer
boost the
shit.
signal.
Every
That
time a game
transmission
pisses
tower
you
should
off,
do
go
just
drink
fine.
water.
Got it. I'll cover you.
Baramin says Baramin did lol. MR
Got it. I'll
Black0950
cover
says TF. Megamat 970 says Bumblebee also has a human kink, at least in the first movie. MR Black0950 says how he gets
Get
you
that
so
Autobot!
fast. MR Black0950 says Bumblebee has a piss kink.
Prepare to get recycled!
Megamat 970 says that too.
Oh!
An Autobot, after it!
Prepare to get recycled!
MR Black0950 says no one pisses on people that eagerly without some kind of weird enjoyment.
All right, we should be able to get the signal through now.
Ironhide, looks like...
Late. I'm getting too old for this.
Megamat 970 says what does Jazz do wrong?
I still got it.
Death to all Autobots!
An Autobot, get it!
I'll call you a tow truck.
Destroy all Autobots!
MR Black0950 says Bumblebee also likes when pretty human women touch his inner
Autobot
components.
forces are attacking!
I'll call you a tow truck.
No!
Get that Autobot!
No!
MR Black0950 says Bumblebee doesn't hide his kinks like Ratchet.
No!
And stay down. All right, the transmission's going
Baramin
through.
says TF,
Prime,
am I
are you
hearing
receiving?
Baramin did wrong?
Affirmative. We are receiving the data now. You'll need to maintain the transmission until
MR
we've completed the
Black0950 says
download.
the truth.
Understood, Prime. Ironhide out.
MR Black0950 says you are hearing the truth. Megamat 970 says discovering the hidden depth of the Autobots in the first movie. MR Black 0950 says Bumblebee responded positively to Michaela working under the hood. MR Black 0950 says he liked it. Baramin says lemme get something here real quick lol. Megamat 970 says he allowed Sam and Michaela to make out on top of him at the end too. MR Black 0950 says that is the equivalent of a human enjoying a physical checkup from an Asarian doctor from Mass Effect. MR Black 0950 says also yeah he did let them get it on didn't he XD. MR Black 0950 says either he's into it or he's the truest wingman. Megamat 970 says but at that point they both know he was alive though.
An Autobot, after him!
MR Black 0950 says and they didn't think it was weird either. MR Black 0950 says perhaps they liked knowing he was watching. Megamat 970 says wow, it's almost like the writing in the Babers is weird or something. MR Black 0950 says the whole 2007 cast was freaky AF apparently. Baramin says literally though Baramin did lol. MR Black 0950 says sadly not freaky enough for Optimus X Megatron ships to be canon. MR Black 0950 says just freaky enough to imply the existing franchise lore is incest XD. Megamat 970 says we realize now that despite being the most criticized out of them all, Jazz was the best of them.
I'm afraid I can't let either of you leave here alive. You're interfering with my plans.
Starscream. Still the second-rate
Baramian
tyrant,
says
I
best
see.
Starscream
You'll always be in
BABTW.
Megatron's shadow.
Petty threats won't save you. You will kneel before me.
Destroy all Autobots!
MR Black 0950 says the worst part is I don't even remember anything about Jazz other than being a silver car XD. MR Black 0950 says didn't he get ripped in half?
Take him down.
I will not be stopped.
Take him down.
Megamat 970 says he chose a particular speech pattern that some consider unfortunate.
Autobots are attacking!
MR Black 0950 says hold on I gotta look it up. MR Black 0950 says he'll be back in 5 minutes when this bit is done. Megamat 970 says did they get the scale of Starscream right here?
Autobot forces are attacking!
MR Black 0950 says, Jazz all scenes, has 5 minutes long.
Autobot forces are attacking! Get that Autobite!
Megamat 970 says I know he was really big compared to the other Transformers cause the jet mode is massive lol.
Get that Autobomb!
Fools, you think you've won? I've got what I came for. Your destruction shall come soon enough.
Prime, have you got what you need?
Affirmative. Jazz, Ratchet, and I are going to Tranquility to rendezvous with Bumblebee. Head back there as fast as you can. Prime out.
You heard the boss. Let's get a move on.
We'll get there faster if I fly us there.
Great.
What's the matter, Rusty? You scared of heights?
Just shut your voice transmitter and get us back to Tranquility.
Okay, hang on to your crankshaft.
Ko-fi Streambot says visit Baramian's Ko-fi page at https://ko-fi.com/Baramian. Ref equals Twitch. Megamat 970 says yeah he's shrunken a lot in his alt mode lol. Baramian says TBH if you think about it, Starscream and Blackout are the largest Transformers. Megamat 970 says cuz planes are big lol. Baramin says basically lol. MR Black 0950 says what's wrong with the way Jazz speaks. Baramin says people don't like it cause he only speak the truth lol. Megamat 970 says I mean it's subdued compared to the twins in Robia.
No!
Autobots!
Oh! No!
Autobots!
Oh!
Megamat 970 says that's cool you can scan
Suspect is
civilian
extremely
vehicles to
armed
turn
and
into.
considered very dangerous.
MR Black 0950 says the twins were wild. Baramin says yems this game allows you to transform into multiple modes. MR Black 0950 says all of the modes. MR Black 0950 says you need a tank. MR Black 0950 says get a tank. Baramin says no tank sadly. MR Black 0950 says boo. Megamat 970 says tanks are Decepticon mode. MR Black 0950 says holy shit is that hot rod.
Take him down.
Megamat 970 says the goat. MR Black 0950 says also the choice to make military vehicles Decepticon only is marketing and not actually lore. Baramin says it's actually both. MR Black 0950 says there's nothing in the lore that stats Optimus can't be a tank, it's a choice. Baramin says it was a risky move for Hasbro yet it paid off. MR Black 0950 says there have been military-class Autobots in the past. MR Black 0950 says they are rare, but they exist. Baramin says yeah but the first movie didn't lol. Baramin says I got the touch. Baramin says I got the power. Megamat 970 says shows that the Autobots represent the people, civilian cars and first responders. While Decepticons represent the man military and purple boomboxes. MR Black 0950 says the matrix of leadership. MR Black 0950 says Decepticons represent the Russians though. Megamat 970 says how do we feel about Rodimus Prime as a replacement? Megamat 970 says for Optimus. Baramin says IDKTBH. MR Black 0950 says that's why G1 Megatron wears an Ushanka. MR Black 0950 says Rodimus Prime is the GOAT. Baramin says YTF are cars killing themselves in this area. Baramin did lol. Megamat 970 says stress. Baramin says mood. MR Black 0950 says and the death of Optimus was so fucking painful to watch. Megamat 970 says which one? S. MR Black 0950 says also I was so disappointed that they waited till the very end to actually include Hot Rod in the Babers and they made him fucking French. MR Black 0950 says at Megamat 970 you know which fucking one. MR Black 0950 says the only one that makes men cry. MR Black 0950 says blowing up civilians like a menace XD.
Oh! Get that Autobomb! Oh!
Baramin says
Dispatch,
Moai.
in pursuit of
Megamat
target.
970 says this really is the Bavers.
Bumblebee, I'm bringing reinforcements to your location. Sector 7 has set up automated defenses all over Tranquility. Destroy the defenses to ensure our safe arrival.
In this ongoing crisis, we must stay the course and not cut and run in the face of resistance.
Indeed. Prime out.
MR Black 0950 says, but seriously, YTF did they make Hot Rod French? Megamat 970 says, was that the president?
Open fire.
Control, we've located the subject.
Dispatch, requesting to shoot first and ask questions later.
We need to contain the situation quickly.
Megamat 970 says Mr. Bush the Ding Dong Wrangler himself.
Suspect is approximately 30 feet high with a metal complexion. This thing is turning my car into Swiss cheese! Send backup
MR
now!
Black 0950 says in the game.
We are under fire. Call in an airstrike.
MR Black 0950 says imagine scanning a
Maintain
turret.
distance.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous. We're gonna need bigger guns!
All units, stand your ground! Don't let it get away.
Megamat 970 says has two Autobots scanned the same car when
We are under
coming
fire.
to.
Call in an airstrike.
Megamat 970 says, one of us has to change.
When a mystery presents itself,
MR Black
there's only
0950
one path
says,
to go.
subject is extremely armed and considered very dangerous. Barumi says Bumblebee is invincible as fuck.
Interesting. I'll have Jazz look into it when we arrive.
MR Black
Tell no one of
0950
this.
says
I don't want the
Flock
others to be distracted with speculation. Prime out.
Dispatch, in pursuit of target. Copy.
Switch to magnesium rounds and open fire.
All units, stand your ground! All units, stand your ground!
Open fire. Request additional support teams.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous.
Megamat 970 says, so George W. asks for ding-dongs from the flight attendant in the scene where Frenzy hacks Air Force One. Ding-dongs famously include 2 cakes in one packet.
We need
She
to contain
eats
the
one if
situation
she
quickly.
wrangles them. Did she open a packet for herself or did she steal a ding-dong from the president? Megamat 970 says, a question this
All
for you.
units, stand your ground!
Dispatch, requesting to shoot first and ask questions later.
MR Black 0950 says she stole them from the president.
We are under fire. Call in an airstrike. Maintain distance.
Baramin says Optimum Pride. MR Black 0950 says Optimum Pride.
A hero. Ready to fight for justice.
MR Black 0950 says EHU were EHR.
Medical Officer Ratchet reporting.
Weapons Specialist Einhide, present and accounted for.
Second Lieutenant, Jazz. Optimus Prime, it's an honor. What's our next move?
Patience, young one. We still need more information.
Just tell me what you need and I'll find it.
Negative. Someone else will
MR
handle
Black
that. I will
0950
summon
says
you
they
when
made
you are
Jazz
needed.
white.
Dismissed.
Megamat 970 says ooh. Baramin says he's black. Megamat 970 says that is like the opposite of his problem in the actual movie. MR Black 0950 says his voice in this is painfully white. Megamat 970 says also it never clicked until recently that the drone sent by the satellite Soundwave was his. Cassettes, Rumble in the first movie, Ravage in the second, and Laserbeak in the third one. Baramin says his voice ain't deep but I know he black. Baramin says at Megamat 970 oh yeah lol. MR Black 0950 says I never connected the other one, but I did catch Ravage.
Autobots!
No!
MR Black 0950 says I always thought it was weird they only gave Soundwave one of his cassettes instead of all of them. Depleted Sermon says best viewers on Elite followers. Online at P5IF3. Megamat 970 says that is actually a cool way to have him be a lingering presence in the original trilogy and foreshadows his appearance in DOTM.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous.
Get that Autobite!
Megamat 970 says yeah, get that Decepticon out of here. MR Black 0950 says no, that's not a cool Decepticon. MR Black 0950 says that was a lame human prototype. Megamat 970 says like one of PSI's drones in AoE. MR Black 0950 says he. MR Black 0950 says fuck KSI and fuck their shitty drones. Megamat 970 says what were they thinking making their version of Optimus from Megatron's head. MR Black 0950 says low quality craftsmanship that relies on cool visuals and voxels instead of being reliably engineered like a true Cybertron. MR Black 0950 says they weren't thinking.
Dispatch, in pursuit of a large metal man.
Megamat
Please advise.
970 says Galvatron was just a stepping stone to Megatron's portrayal in TLK. Megamat 970 says which was actually pretty cool. MR Black 0950 says otherwise they wouldn't have used actual Cybertronian brains.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous.
Megamat 970 says I liked Megatron in TLK and his dumb Suicide Squad ripoff scene. Baramin says fuck-ass cops would rather shoot me than Decepticons. Megamat 970 says typical. Baramin says I'm smelling inequality. MR Black 0950 says Decepticons are white-coated.
Jazz, Bumblebee reported some strange energy readings from the Sector 7 defenses. I need you to gather some of their vehicles and bring them back here for analysis.
Why are these human vehicles so important?
I'd rather not say until I'm sure. If my suspicions are correct, they may hold the key to winning this war. I just
Megamat
can't be sure
970
for
says they are
which side.
Cybertronian immigrants.
Consider it done then. and
MR
I'll
Black
hope we're the winners,
0950
sir.
says clearly they saw Jazz and assumed every Autobot was black. Kofi Streambot says visit Baramin's Ko-Fi page at https://ko-fi.com/Baramin. Ref equals Twitch. Baramin says Baramin did lol. MR Black 0950 says we all know the cops here got beef with the color chrome.
That can't be right. Humans couldn't have access to this sort of power source.
Control, we've located the subject.
MR Black 0950 says you could be a Constructicon. MR Black 0950 says maybe. MR Black 0950 says I saw it, they're ready to try scanning.
Control, we've located the subject.
Request additional support teams. Request additional support teams.
MR Black 0950 says okay, so they send the black guy to steal cars. Baramin says loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. Megamat 970 says I looked it up and Jazz is played by a white Canadian man in this game, frowning face. MR Black 0950 says told you he sounded white. Baramin says no. MR Black 0950 says hashtag not my jazz. Megamat 970 says he's doing the voice. Baramin says they not like us.
Switch to magnesium rounds and open fire.
MR Black 0950 says possibly throwing the valuable target like it's not a delicate machine.
Don't let it get away.
Suspect is
Megamat
extremely armed and
970 says
considered
wow,
very
Yuri
dangerous.
Lowenthal does voices in this game. MR Black 0950 says bros got you grocery shopping damn. Baramin says whom is he here? Megamat 970 says, additional voices.
Surprise.
Blackout. Out of my way, I got work to do.
Oh, I'll work you all right, Jazz. I'll blast you a new exhaust.
Megamat 970
Sorry, Blackout,
says
but you're
is that an
just too
Autobot or
big and stupid
Decepticon?
to scare me.
No one condescends me and lives. I'll
Baramin says WTF did Blackout say? Baramin says, I'll work you alright. Sure buddy. MR Black 0950 says fucking guy.
I'll squash you like an Insecticon. weapons.
Now you're gone and made me late. I hate being late.
Why won't you die?
You find anything?
Yes,
Baramin says gay ass
it
MF.
is as I feared. Not only does
MR
Sector 7 have
Black 0950
Megatron
says the
prisoner,
movie Jazz was
but they
voiced
have
by
the
Darius
Allspark as
McCrary,
well.
a black man.
They have no
This one is
idea how
voiced by
deadly
Andrew
that
Kishino,
combination
a
could
white
be.
Canadian. They
Earth
whitewashed
could
our
share
Jazz.
the same fate as Cybertron.
Megamat 970
I
says
won't let that
SMH.
happen. Not
Baramin
again.
says Asterisk
What
ain't
happened
it
to
like us.
Cybertron wasn't your fault, Optimus. It's Megatron's.
No matter what Megatron did, I'm still partly responsible, Jazz. I could have prevented this before any
MR
of it
Black
started.
0950 says
By
hashtag
destroying
not
your own
my
brother?
Jazz.
Megatron may be my brother, but he is also the one who took the spark of our father. My friends, our world.
Baramin says make Jazz
I
black
will
again.
do what I must. Gather the others. We need to brief them on what we have learned.
Aye, sir.
MR Black 0950 says hashtag MJBA. Megamat 970 says that's Blackout's depth. MR Black 0950 says also the game outright saying they are brothers like the franchise hasn't been seeding a scorned love story since G1 XD. Baramin says my fave mode by the way. MR Black 0950 says MR Black 0950 says that's my impression of a helicopter. Baramin says lol. MR Black 0950 says car mode midair. Baramin says lol. Baramin says this game has no fall damage. MR Black 0950 says drop like a brick. MR Black 0950 says the fact the game lets you control your verticality is wild AF. Megamat 970 says on the DS is crazy.
Autobots, we face either our salvation or our destruction. Analysis of the data retrieved from the Arctic revealed that not only does Sector 7 hold Megatron prisoner, but they also possess the Allspark.
We know the Decepticons are aware of this as well,
MR
and we are
Black
mounting a strike on
0950
Sector
says
7.
this game is
Where is
insane
Sector
on
7
a technical
located?
level.
2 mega miles from here. It's hidden in a place called the Hoover Dam. Sector 7 knows we're here and has patrols all over the city looking for us. We need a
Barunian says
diversion
Father
so we can
FR.
get to the dam.
Awesome. Sign me up. I've got enough vehicle forms to get the job done.
Negative. Bumblebee, you will antagonize Sector 7 into following you away from this area. The rest of us will split up and meet just outside the city.
But Optimus, how is Bumblebee going to escape them? They don't seem too friendly to Transformers.
Bumblebee, can you handle
Barunian
it?
says dumbass Optimus Prime.
It's an adventure.
It's settled then. Autobots, roll out!
Megamat 970 says what else is no. Barunian says our OC can literally do the job faster. Megamat 970 says new. Barunian says our OC is literally a fucking chopper. Barunian says Optimus just wants Bumblebee dead LMAO. Megamat 970 says he sees how he is around the first 2 humans he meets. Megamat 970 says he's too far gone in Prime's eyes.
Open fire.
Suspect is approximately 30 feet high with a metal complexion.
Hal, I'm gonna strip you for parts. Fall back! Fall back! Dispatch, we're gonna need some backup. This walking tin can is firing at it. Open fire. What the heck is that thing? This walking tin can is firing at it. Subject clearly has hostile intentions. Send help! Take him out!
Dispatch, requesting to shoot first and ask questions later.
Open fire as soon as you have target acquisition.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous.
Unbelievable! He just cut through that defensive line like it was nothing!
Don't let it get away!
MR Black 0950 says he's doing too much.
This walking tin can is firing at it. Subject clearly has hostile intentions. Send help! What the heck is that thing?
Megan at 970 says the Matrix sees much darkness when you bumblebee.
Al, I'm gonna strip you for parts. Switch to magnesium rounds and open fire. Subject
Megan
clearly has
at
hostile
970
intentions.
says
Send help!
actually the Matrix is in the Pyramid of Egypt, never mind.
Engaging enemy targets. All units, stand your ground! Control, we've located the subject. Let's try to take it alive! Control, we've located the subject. Request additional support teams.
Last play. Can they pull a win with
MR
so
Black
much against them?
0950 says wait, that artifact that turned to dust was supposed to be the Matrix of leadership.
Dispatch, requesting to shoot first and ask questions later.
Let's send this thing to the scrap heap.
Megamat 970 says it reformed and Prime got it at the
This
end.
thing is shooting at us. Send in the artillery. All units, stand your ground. We need air support. Pronto. Subject clearly has hostile intentions. Send help. Eliminate the subject. Looks like there's more of them!
MR Black 0950 says it looked like some piece of modern art, not the Matrix of leadership, loudly crying.
Let's try to take it alive!
Megamat 970 says Icker. MR Black 0950 says I seriously need to rewatch the Babers movies. MR Black 0950 says it's clearly been too long. Megamat 970 says he used the Matrix to revive Sentinel Prime. And we never saw it again.
Autobots, we face either our salvation or our
Baramin
destruction.
says TBH all
Analysis
artifacts
of
in
the
the
data
movie are
retrieved
never
from the
used
Arctic
again.
revealed that not only does Sector 7 hold Megatron prisoner, but they also possess...
We know the...
Where is
MR
Sector
Black
7?
2 mega
0950
miles
says
from
you
here.
can be a
It's
jet
hidden
but
in a
not a
place
tank.
called the Hoover Dam. Sector 7 knows we're here and has patrols all over the city looking for us. We need a diversion so we can get to the dam.
Awesome. Sign me up.
Baramian
I've got
says
enough
that's
vehicle
an
forms to get
exclusive
the
mode.
job done.
Negative. Bumblebee, you will antagonize Sector
MR
7
Black
into following you
0950
away from
says
this
that's
area.
BS.
The rest of us will split up and meet just outside the city.
But Optimus, how is Bumblebee going to escape them? They don't seem too friendly to Transformers.
Bumblebee, can you handle it?
It's not just a job. It's an adventure.
It's settled then. Autobots,
Baramian says a mode you
roll
get when
out.
you played an online game, I think. MR Black 0950 says boo.
Is there a sci-fi convention in town or something?
Take him out. Dispatch, we've got a situation. Copy. Let's send this thing to the scrap heap. What the heck is that thing? Switch to armor-piercing rounds and attack.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous.
This thing is shooting at us. Send in the artillery. This thing is shooting at us. Send in the artillery. Engaging enemy targets. Hostiles in sight.
Suspect is extremely armed and considered very dangerous.
Fall back! Fall back! Let's send this thing to the scrap heap. Unbelievable! Eliminate the subject. All units, stand your ground! Request additional support teams. We are under fire. Call in an airstrike. Switch to armor-piercing rounds and attack. This walking tin can is firing at it. Subject clearly has hostile intentions. Send help! Control, we've located the subject.
Batman Guy 999 says
Let's send this
pineapple.
thing to the scrap heap.
Megamat 970 says
Looks like
hello.
there's more of them! We are under fire. Call in an airstrike. This, whatever it is, just knocked us back into the Stone Age! Eliminate the subject. Request additional support teams. Subject clearly has hostile intentions. Send help! This, whatever it is, just knocked us back into the Stone Age!
It's all down to this last play.
Dispatch, requesting to shoot first and ask questions later.
MR Black 0950 says at Batman Guy 999 on pizza.
Engaging enemy targets. We're under attack by a walking tank! Open fire as soon as you have target acquisition. We're taking heavy fire! Engaging enemy targets. This walking tin can is firing at us. Engaging enemy targets. Engaging enemy targets. Let's try to take it alive! Let's try to take it alive! Hostiles in sight. Switch to armor-piercing rounds and attack. Engaging enemy targets. This walking tin can is firing at us.
We can proceed now, Bumblebee. Meet us at Hoover Dam as soon as you are able.
Awesome! We did it! You missed a few, but don't worry. I took care of them. Oh no! They must have followed me here. I'm sorry. I just wanted to help.
In the current conflict, sacrifices must be made. We must protect our children and ensure their
says
freedom.
dumbass OC.
What are you talking about?
Control, we've located the subject.
Maintain distance.
Let's try to take it alive!
Let's bring it back to base for study. What have I done?
MR Black 0950
We
says
have to go
generic
back
ass
and rescue
president
him.
voice XD.
How do you know?
I was there. I was trying to help, trying to show all of you that I was capable of doing more.
You young punk! This is war! Showing off is the sort of thing that gets bots killed.
Ironhide is right, but we have a more urgent matter. We need to retrieve the Allspark at all costs.
What? You mean we're just gonna leave Bumblebee?
Affirmative.
Megamat
You
970
don't care
says
about
that's
any of
not
us, do
George
you,
W.
Prime? Protect the humans. Get the Allspark. Autobots preserve life. All you really care about is beating your brother.
MR Black
Ironhide,
0950
you
says
need to
no
go
it's not.
right
Baramin says I
now.
thought it was trying to be JFK.
Bumblebee made a choice. He sacrificed himself because he understood what is at stake. We have all made sacrifices in this war. We must not let them be in vain.
MR Black 0950 says it sounded like a JFK wannabe. Kofi Streambot says visit Baramin's Ko-Fi page at https://ko-fi.com/Baramin. Ref equals Twitch. Baramin says Hoover Dam. 3. Megamat 970 says that's the battle at the end of the second act, right? Baramin says yeet.
situation quickly. Eliminate the subject.
Jazz, you must find a way into the Sector 7 facility. Try to remotely infiltrate their security systems. Proceed to the radio tower. You can use it as a backdoor to their computer systems. Use the highway and remain transformed. We can't afford to have anyone else get captured.
You can count on me, Prime.
Jazz, proceed. Use the
You can count.
Baramin says Baramin did lol.
Jazz.
You can count on.
Jazz,
You.
MR Black 0950 says it's the part where they use modern slang ANF give us info hazards.
Looks like the power box is at the top of that tower. Guess it's climb time.
MR Black 0950 says bro's just driving in lie he doesn't have suspicious
Now
guns
to
on his
plant the
roof.
virus. Optimus, the virus is up and the back door is open. Now, I just need to find a
Baramin
computer
says
terminal.
least suspicious
I'm betting I'll
transporter.
find one in that military hangar I passed on the way here.
Keep me appraised of your progress. Prime out.
MR Black 0950 says there's no way no one didn't see him climb that. MR Black 0950 says there's so many cars on that road.
Optimus, I may be a while. It appears that Sector 7 is defended by unmanned drones. Permission to kick some tailpipe?
Permission granted. Just make sure you complete that download.
Megamat 970 says
They're shooting armor-piercing rounds at us.
I guess.
Now
MR
I'm
Black
gonna strip you
0950
apart.
says this game has the least covert missions ever XD.
They're shooting armor-piercing rounds at us! Let's send this thing to the scrap heap. Subject clearly has hostile intentions. Send help! This thing is shooting at us. Send in the artillery. Woo! Switch to armor-piercing rounds and attack.
Download complete, Prime. Meet you back at the rendezvous point.
Eliminate the subject.
We need to contain the situation quickly. We need to contain the situation quickly.
I'm under attack.
Baramin says bro is
what have
walking
you learned from
Baramin the
Sector
vlog.
7's computer network?
I couldn't locate where they're keeping Megatron or the Allspark, but I did discover a way into the base, and where they're keeping Bumblebee.
They brought Bumblebee here?
You got it, and it's a good thing, too. Prime, recommend we rescue Bumblebee. We need his tracking ability if we're gonna find Megatron and the Allspark.
Agreed, Jazz. Ironhide and Ratchet, recon the area. Young one, I want you to execute the rescue op.
Thank you, sir. I'll get Bumblebee out of there no matter what.
Boss. I, said some things before.
You and I have been through too much together to warrant any apologies, old friend. Interesting that the only information you were able to obtain was a way in to rescue Bumblebee. That's rather fortunate.
The Allspark works in mysterious ways, Optimus. Perhaps it felt it was time to get the gang back together.
Indeed. Thank you, Jazz. Before you initiate the rescue attempt, I want their communications completely knocked out. We can't afford to have Sector 7 call in reinforcements.
Yes, sir. I'll radio in when their communication systems are down. Communication systems are down. What's next, boss?
Jazz located Bumblebee in the lowest level of Hoover Dam. There is only one way in, and it is heavily guarded.
It's my fault Bumblebee is in there. I'll do whatever it takes to get him out.
You do us proud, Autobot.
Baramin says lol. MR Black 0950 says copter for VVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVVV MR Black 0950 says peace fan. That looked like a food truck. MR Black 0950 says specifically tacos. Baramin says I mean there is an ice cream truck. MR Black 0950 says that's the twins. You can't take their Simic. MR Black 0950 says you kinda are shaped like Soundwave TBH. Baramin says Baramin did lol. MR Black 0950 says you got pounded. Baramin says at Merblack0950 yeah, this model is a low-poly version of the Shockwave
Before
from
you
the
ini-
PS2 game. MR Black 0950 says ah.
Communication systems are down.
Jazz, look.
It's
Good work. Defenses are down. You can proceed inside. Bumblebee is in a holding cell at the west end, but it is heavily reinforced. Head to the south wing and deactivate the cell block controls. Prime out. Engaging enemy targets. Eliminate the subject.
Take him out. Take him out. Control, we've located the subject.
Request additional support teams.
This thing is shooting at us. Send in the artillery. Let's try to take it alive!
We are under fire. Call in an airstrike. Request additional support teams.
Hal, I'm gonna strip you for parts. We're under attack by a walking tank! We need to contain the situation quickly.
Switch to magnesium rounds and open fire.
Switch to armor-piercing rounds and attack.
Eliminate the subject.
All units, stand your ground!
Eliminate the subject. Request additional support teams. Open fire as soon as you have target acquisition.
This walking tin can is firing at us! Hostiles in sight! We need to contain the situation quickly.
Open fire as soon as you have target acquisition. We are under fire. Call in an airstrike.
We need air support. Pronto! We need to contain the situation quickly.
We are under fire. Call in an airstrike. We are under fire. Call in an airstrike.
Please tell me you're okay.
That's great news! Optimus is gonna flip! Hey, Bumblebee? I'm sorry I got you into this mess.
Prime, Bumblebee's free, and he knows the location of the Allspark.
Good work. We'll put together a mission to retrieve it.
Switch to magnesium rounds and open fire. Maintain distance. Maintain distance.
Baramin says rip lol.
Maintain distance.
Kofi Screenbot says visit Baramin's Ko-Fi page at https://pro-fi.com/Baramin.
We have access to their computer systems.
Baramin says
Your
on
chip
music
is
to my
in their
ears.
weapons lab. Bumblebee, it seems the humans imprisoned several Decepticons as well. They were freed when you were, and are heading to your location.
I'll bring him to Pain. The Pain train is coming. Whoop, whoop! Death to all Autobots! Oh! Oh! No! Oh! No!
Anazal_Croesus says now that's a game I haven't seen in a while. Baramin says you what's up Croesus. Baramin says this game is pure nostalgia lol. Anazal_Croesus says what's up Baru.
Your weapon chip is located in one of these structures.
Looks like there's more of them! We need to contain the situation quickly.
Maintain distance.
Baramin says I'm currently sick so I didn't get to go to work. Ooh.
Looks like there's more of them!
Anazal_Croesus says well, playing games always helps open mouth smile.
He's taking a heavy beating, but he
Baramian says lol.
Go! He breaks left. He breaks right. Will he make it to the end zone?
I'm ready to go out there and give it 110%. All the way, baby.
Bumblebee, please. This is serious. Make your way to the Allspark.
Take him out.
Eliminate the subject. Eliminate the subject. Maintain distance.
The Allspark is protected by some kind of force field. Seems the Allspark is trying to protect itself by turning the machinery into drones. Be careful.
With the power of light, all things are possible.
Great job. Now meet me outside. We've opened a door to give you a way out. Transform and get out of there.
You've never experienced horsepower like this.
Baramian says IA we do one last mission before we end stream lol.
We need to get out of here first. It's good to have you back, Bumblebee.
MR Black 0950 says Chewie adds Scream XD.
Let me take care of that.
They're shooting armor-piercing rounds at us!
MR Black 0950 says I found a video that perfectly sums up Hard-On's recruitment.
We are under fire. Calling an airstrike.
MR Black 0950 says a complete stranger on the internet was pinging with our Pong a whole year in advance. Baramin says lol whom. MR Black 0950 says I sent the vid in the memes.
Let's not make this complicated, Prime. Just give me the Allspark and we can all go home.
Baramin says Keith David.
If the Allspark gets into Megatron's hands, no one in the universe will be safe.
Well, the way I see it, he's just trying to restore order. If you and your friends had just gotten out of the way, Cybertron would still be around, wouldn't it?
You're
Meganet
deluding
970
yourself
says
if you
Argo.
think Megatron is
MR Black
interested in the
0950
common
says
good.
the best voice of the game.
I'm gonna ask you nice one last time. Give me the Allspark, or me and my friends here will have to start getting nasty. Don't take it out on me.
Baramin says actually he is one of many laws.
You couldn't just play nice.
MR Black
You had to do this
0950
the hard
says
way.
the rest are good, but his is the best.
You couldn't just play nice.
Baramin says TBH the VA of Starscream here is the best. You'll know when we play the Decepticons version.
You had to do this the hard way.
You ain't that smart, Prime. I was just a diversion.
Megatron.
Lord Megatron, you are free.
Yes. Do we have the Allspark?
No, Lord Megatron. The Autobots are in possession of the Allspark, but...
What?
But there is a plan to retrieve it. We have planted explosives all along the dam. Its destruction will result in many casualties of the planet's inhabitants. The Autobots will be so preoccupied with saving them that they won't be able to resist us when we go to reclaim the Allspark.
Acceptable. I suppose I won't have to kill you for your failure.
We have to tell Optimus, but we can't risk having the Decepticons intercept our transmission.
I'll go tell Optimus. You stay out of sight and see if you can find out anything else. I'm gonna need your help on this, so don't go looking for trouble.
Got it, Ironhide. I learned my lesson.
Glad to hear it. Be careful, kid. Playtime's over. This is as serious as it gets. Optimus, the Decepticons have freed Megatron and planted explosives to blow the dam. It'll kill thousands of the humans for sure.
Their cruelty knows no bounds. Bumblebee, take the Allspark and rendezvous with Ratchet. Ironhide, you take care of the bombs. I'll go after Megatron.
Baramin says IA we end stream here lol. Baramin says I think there is a few missions here before we proceed to the next area. Megamat 970 says W Gaming Strem. MR Black 0950 says W Strem. Baramin says also fuck it I'ma cheat a lil to get the jet mode lol. Baramin says there it is lol. Baramin says let's showcase it before we end stream LMAO. MR Black 0950 says, 0 cheater. Baramin says, 3. MR Black 0950 says 9k kudoinkles. MR Black 0950 says 1k away from an Arachnid sketch. Baramin says but ye we end stream now lol. MR Black 0950 says Ite. Baramin says thamk ya guys for sticking around and vibin UWU. Baramin says 'twas a fun stream UWU. MR Black 0950 says go watch the vid I sent. Baramin says yems lol.